First time I was ever paid to professionally wrestle was against Seth, a.k.a. Tyler, a.k.a. that night, and for one night only, I'm the only person who can ever say they wrestled against a man named Taj The Destroyer. That's right, he named himself Taj The Destroyer as a 17-year-old high school student for IPW in Central Illinois. And I believe he suffered a concussion that night and tried to enter. We have a friend who's actually also the assistant trainer at Black and Brave, wrestles this Crotch or Matt Mayday. And he's 4 years older than us, so he had his own apartment at that time. And it was on the way back from the show that we wrestled for IPW, and we stopped at his apartment. At this point, Taj, a.k.a. Colby, Seth, Tyler, he was concussed from our match. I don't remember exactly how he got that concussion, but, we were a little reckless back in those days. We got back to Crotch's apartment, and across the hallway were some young, attractive women. And, we're 17-year-old kids, and that's kind of our deal at that point. And I remember Crotch's toilet not working, and Seth needed to use the restroom pretty badly, so he knocked on the door of the apartment that belonged to these young women, and he asked to use their toilet, and they were accommodating, and they let him do so. And afterwards, he walked into the living room, and he just sat down on their couch, and he was like, "Hey, you guys want to party now?" And they were like, "No, get out of my apartment." And he was like, "Oh, come on, let's party." They're like, "Get out of here before we call the cops." So we had to drag him out of the apartment, kind of kicking and screaming at that point due to that concussion that he had, where he thought it was appropriate just to camp out in somebody's living room and try to have a party. But I think we each got paid, maybe $10 that night, maybe 20 at the most, but that's probably stretching it. And we thought it was the coolest thing in the world. We're like, wait a second, you're going to give us money to wrestle, which is something we want to do anyways. And I remember we went to McDonald's and just stocked up on McChickens and cheeseburgers, and it was the best night of our lives up until that point. But I would almost guarantee he remembers, depending on how severe the concussion was, I would almost guarantee he remembers trying to party on these girls' couch.
Yeah.
After our first paid wrestling match.
That's a good story. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I don't think that story has ever been told on a podcast. You guys get the exclusive.
There you go.